Good morning, everyone. This is Brennan Decima, owner of Decima Wealth Consulting. We've had a lot of layoffs here recently, and one of the most popular questions that I've been getting is, what do I do with my pension? Should I take a lump sum or should I take the payment? So this is a really difficult question. There's a lot of variables involved, and I'm going to show you today how the math works to help you make an informed decision. But again, with retirement planning, it's not always about numbers. There's a lot of emotional quotient. So the advantage of the lump sum is you get a much bigger pot of money, which potentially you can grow more than what the payments would give you, right? So there's more upside potential with a lump sum. You also have the ability to add contingent beneficiaries. So with pension payments, typically there's a provision, not always, but typically there's a provision for a spouse. But if there's a simultaneous death, there's nothing left for the kids, right? So with a lump sum, you can add a spouse or a non-spouse, you can add kids, you can have friends, you can have charities. So the lump sum gives you more estate flexibility. So let's break into the math here. Let's take a look at how that works. So one of the most popular tools that we can use is calculator.net, right? So when you go to calculator.net, on the homepage, they have a finance calculator. So the way that we really look at this is a couple of things. The first is, what is the break even, right? So how many years does it take to get our money back? So how do we calculate that? The first thing I really think about is, how many years are we planning for? And if we were to just throw it in something that is risk-free, what is the equivalent return? So quick way to do that is to take a look at treasury rates. So the US Treasury, let's say we're planning for a 20-year, 30-year retirement. Let's call it 4.7, right? The risk-free rate for 20 to 30 years is about the same, 4.7. So we'll come to the finance calculator, we'll plug in 4.7. That's what we can get with taking zero risk for the length of the retirement. Now, let's say the lump sum, I'm just going to use simple numbers. Let's say the lump sum is $1 million. We're going to put in negative $1 million here. So the reason it's negative is you are giving away that lump sum to the company, right? They are keeping the lump sum, so it's a negative. You don't have it, you're giving it away, and you're receiving positive payments. So positive payments, um, let's say the payment is, let's call it 6,000 a month, so 72,000 a year, and you get nothing left when you pass away, right? So let's hit calculate. So right now the break even is 23 years. So for the first 23 years, you're essentially coming out behind. If you expect to live longer than 23 years, then the payments come out ahead. So the way that I think about this is, the lump sum gives you the possibility for the first 23 years to come out ahead. Um, but if you are someone that is planning for longevity, you think you're going to have a retirement that's significantly longer than 23 years, the payments come out in your advantage. So that's the math behind this. The other thing I look at is, all right, what is the internal rate of return, right? So I'm going to clear this. So let's use that same example. And again, we can't predict when we're going to pass away, but let's say we want to plan for a 25-year retirement, right? So we're going to plug in N is 25. That's the number of years. And that same lump sum was $1 million. So we're giving away 1 million. We're receiving 72,000, and there's nothing left. So what is the oops, internal rate of return? On a 25-year retirement, the internal rate of return would be 5.14%, right? So if you think that you're going to have a 25-year retirement, taking the payments for 25 years would be the same as earning 5.15. So again, couple of considerations. Do you feel that that's a satisfactory return for the next quarter century? If the answer is yes, the payments are pretty compelling, right? If the answer is no, and you feel that you can do much better than 5.147, then that lump sum gives you more upside opportunity. So again, no right or wrong on this. But again, just to recap, the internal rate of return N is going to be the number of years you're planning for. The present value is going to be the amount of the lump sum with a negative. The payment is going to be the annual payment amount, and then future value will be zero. There's nothing left when you pass away. So hopefully this is helpful. Now, again, from an emotional standpoint, I think it's really critical to think about how pension payments fit in. So we believe that your essential expenses in retirement should be covered by guaranteed expenses, right? The fixed expenses should not be at the whims of the market or dividends or uncertainty, right? You don't want headlines determining if you can pay the utility bill. Does that mean that you necessarily need to use the company pension? No. You can go out and buy a private pension. You can go get a fixed income annuity, which potentially has a little bit of a lower payment, but the advantage of that is it's no longer on the company's balance sheet. So you can potentially improve your safety using a private insurer instead of a company that may not be around in 20, 25, 30 years. You also have the ability to add beneficiaries. So either you or your family comes out even or ahead. There's no chance that, oh, I took the payments and all of a sudden, my spouse and I are hit by a bus and the company keeps $1 million, right? So private payments allow for that. The other thing that I think about is I've seen clients that take the lump sum because the net worth is something that's very exciting to them. They increase their net worth by 1 million, 2 million with this lump sum, which is great on paper. But wealth is designed to be a tool. So if the fluctuation of that is something causing tremendous stress, and every time the market's down, you're canceling vacations or wondering, hey, can I, play golf or can I live my life? Then that net worth isn't a tool for success. It's a tool for stress, right? So some people, the payments allow them much more predictability. Having that envelope in the mail or direct deposit in the bank every month gives them confidence to live their life, right? So I think it's really important to have some self-reflection of what would give you more confidence, more income that is dependable, or a higher balance. And there's some really fascinating studies on this. Fidelity did a study and they said, hey, if you had an extra 10,000 a year in predictable annual income or 140,000 more on your balance sheet, which would give you more confidence to spend? And the large majority of people said an extra 10,000 in income. So again, as you're thinking about this decision, really think about what role it's going to play. Is net worth going to give you more confidence to spend, or payments going to give you more confidence to spend? And if you need any help with this, this is exactly what we do for our clients. We've helped thousands of people navigate retirement, do the calculations for their own particular company's pension. So you can email me, Brennan@decimawealth.com. Visit us at decimawealth.com. Hopefully this is helpful. Have a great day.